Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Nick
Hello.
and Brandon.
Hey.
We're here to talk about games and things. Things and games.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's on the agenda today? Nothing exciting.
No, not really.
I won't have new games till next week.
Well, let's see. I mean, I played Pilotwings 64, which just released on the...
Yeah, I
Right.
actually heard some
Switch.
things about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's new. So I'll talk about that first.
hmm
And then also we have the Bayonetta 3 news to break into.
Yeah.
So there's that for later. And I don't know. You guys ready to get started? Ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right.
I will say I just saw something before we get into it. There is apparently in Sparks of Hope, the new Mario & Rabbids game.
Yep.
There's like a snowy level where there's a single penguin next to a cliff that you can yeet off the cliff.
That's good.
Yes.
So I love that.
Does it make the noises from Mario 64?
That's the noise, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does actually. It does a when you throw them. Anyway.
It's a nice little... I'm excited for that. I mean, yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about next week. Actually, the reviews for that have been good. The reviews for Persona 5, the Royale, the port, have been fantastic. Nier Automata, I know we talked about that before. That's supposed to be really good on the Switch too.
Yep.
Or wherever you're getting it, apparently. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of shit coming out all of a sudden. It's one of those times of year. So,
Here's just a really good game.
It's that month.
yeah.
Yep.
But Pilotwings 64, I'll talk about this new old game.
Yeah.
I'm like super pleasantly impressed with this game, actually. I mean, not that it should be a surprise. I mean, it was a fun game when it came out, 20 some years ago. But I don't know, the Switch version is actually really nice.
Yeah, it's 45 to 60 FPS.
Yeah. The resolution update helps this game immensely because you can see things in the distance much clearer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're able to get, it's not as like foggy. You're able to like navigate through tighter spaces better.
Yeah.
Also, another like secret benefit of this game I've realized is it actually, as opposed to some of the other N64 games, it actually plays nice with just your standard Switch controls because it doesn't use a lot of the wonky N64 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not trying to, because if you played any other N64 games on the Switch without the N64 controller, it maps things really weird and you can't change them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the Z button on the 64 is like ZL, but like the L button's the L button, the R button's the R button, which makes sense if you think about it logistically, but if you think about it practically, it may not necessarily be like the placement of the buttons you need. But Pilotwings doesn't really fuck around with a lot of buttons. So you're really just using A, B, and occasionally Z. So it works really well because you have the right stick instead of the C buttons. You have pretty much free control over the camera, which feels really nice. So controls really nicely too. I don't know. This game's just absolutely pleasure to play. I've just been having such a good time with it.
I watched someone go over it, and essentially, there's. I know you were saying like you really like it and everything. There is a single slight issue with the game, and that is the fact that they sacrificed what's the word I'm looking for? So essentially the way they were able to make it run at 45 to 60 FPS was just to double the frame rate of the game. So the emulation quality of the game is actually very different from what you would have with the standard original version. And as such, it actually doesn't sync up correctly with how the game would play normally. So it's kind of like how when the Crash Bandicoot remaster released, there's like little weird things that would happen in some places. Like it didn't quite match up the same way that you would remember playing it, and some part felt harder than usual. And that was because of them changing the engine. But here, they're not really changing the engine as much as they are emulating it at double the frame rate, which is what is causing it to not quite match up correctly in some cases.
Are you sure that it's...
Yes.
Okay, because I had saw something initially
I watched a
that-
video
that-
on a guy who did the remake of the Quake game that was updated and everything. He is very into emulation and very into figuring out how things work. And he went over the way the new Pilotwings work. He's like, it works really good, and it's gonna feel fine if you've like not played the original or you haven't played it in a very long time. But essentially, this game is just doubling the frame rate. So if like you were like a big time Pilotwings player and you remember how the game used to play or how the game would work, essentially, this game is sacrificing oh god, like what's the word that I'm looking
Fidelity?
for? No. It's when something is trying to emulate the original, like the original game, and it's like
Emulation.
you said it. No. Just forget it. I don't know the word. Just forget it. I don't know the word.
The same thing. No, the only reason I was asking because the initial report that I had seen was that the Pilotwings 64 never had a locked frame rate, so with the higher power,
it didn't.
Switch,
You're correct. You're correct. But with them emulating it and like doing that sort of thing, it's just doing double what the frame rate used to be because that's the way the emulator works. So if the frame rate was like 25 or like 20 or something, it's now 40 in that spot essentially because that's just the way the emulator on the Switch itself works. Yes, the game.
Okay. I thought you were saying it was like duplicating frames.
No.
Frame rate trickery. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, no, because it's running faster, so it's just able to make more frames.
Yeah. So like, whereas if it was actually running at the native, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, like the native, what the game could do if it had the best like quality emulation possible, it would be able to run at 60 or even higher because it did have an unlocked frame rate. But since this is just taking the frame rate the game originally had and like essentially doubling it at different positions to make the frame rate higher, it's causing it not to like match up or sync up correctly. But you don't really notice it because of the fact that like who the hell played shit out of Pilotwings? No one did.
Yeah, no. And this is the kind of game too where it's not really
like if you put the two games side by side, right? And you were to do something like, for instance, the jetpack boost or like the jetpack fall, and then you were to have the frame rate of the Switch release and everything, it still wouldn't quite match up with the frame rate of the original N64 release. So like the frame rate, the emulation, God damn it, what is the word? Fuck! It's gonna bother me. Hold on, I'm gonna go look at an emulator real quick. I'm gonna go look at an emulator. Research.
While he's looking, I'll just finish my thought. I was gonna say like this is a game too where it's not like Mario. If they fucked around with the frame rate, like things would just feel like weird, like Goombas would be out of place or things like that. Like
Koopas.
Yeah, this is kind of more just like let me get in a plane and fuck around, and it just kind of feels fun. Like I don't. Yeah, I agree. It probably wouldn't matter too much to most people unless I don't know. There could be a speedrunning community for Pilotwings? I have no.
There could be. You might be right.
But it's fun. It's so nice. Just kind of like it's such a mellow game. It's got such mellow music. It is a very 90s game though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got like the whole like the theme song for Pilotwings 64 I didn't remember, but it sounds like it's stolen straight from the 90s. And the one guy's voice who I play as Lark, I think is who it is. It's literally his voice is just Toad from Mario Kart 64. Yeah. He's like Yahoo! That's all he does. But when you like fuck up and like run into a mountain or something, like the noises they make are just comical. I love it. They just kind of like scream and then they just ragdoll into oblivion. It's fun. Then you have like what the three main challenges are the gyrocopter, which is kind of like a helicopter thing. You have like the jetpack, and then you have the paraglider, and then you got like the unlockable things too, like Birdman, Cannonball, Parachute. And I haven't unlocked the last one yet, so I don't know what it is. I don't remember. I looked on GameFAQs, but I already forgot.
I kept thinking of the word authentic, and it was not. The accuracy of emulation is off. That is the word I was looking for. accuracy of it is off, which is what causes the syncing not to match up correctly. So that's I kept going to the authentic, and I was like, that's not the word. Don't say it. That sounds stupid. It's the accuracy. So the emulation accuracy on the Switch is online, and we're not entirely sure if it's because of the fact that it has it's streaming essentially, which could be what's causing that little buffer there or what have you, or what it is that's causing it, but the accuracy is not quite there. It's not bad. It's not the worst accuracy. It's improved massively over the original release, but the accuracy for Pilotwings still is not quite there. That's what I was trying to say.
All right. That's fair. As I said, I agree with you. I don't think most people are gonna notice. Just go play Pilotwings. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, you don't really need an N64 controller, so you don't really.
I was also trying to remember the person that did the video on it. His name's MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer. He did a video called what?
So that name sounds familiar. I feel like I've seen.
He did an emulation video for the N64 emulation on Switch, which specifically has a section dedicated to Pilotwings. So you could check that out if you wanted to try to get a better understanding of what I was trying to explain, but could not do so. Also, he's the one that ported Quake to all the systems.
Oh, cool.
Do you guys have any other questions on Pilotwings?
Is there planes in it?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Not really.
You just have the. I mean,
I don't remember if there was ever multiplayer in that game. Is there, and can it be played online?
I don't think there's multiplayer. Really, this game. It was a game if I had friends over and we were playing it, because we would rent it from Blockbuster occasionally.
Me and my dad owned it. He used to play the fuck out of it. I remember we would play it back and forth, but I couldn't remember if there was actual multiplayer.
Yeah, that's how we did too. We would take turns between rounds or whatever. Like you take a go, I take a go, so you can get the highest score kind of thing. Because that's the big thing about this game. It's kind of like a see how high of a score you can get.
Yeah, it was just single player. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I mean, Pilotwings is a game that I wish they did more of. I liked the 3DS one.
The 3DS one was fun.
Yeah.
It was the resort, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously they haven't forgotten about this franchise because that wasn't that long ago. I mean, I know it was long, but not that long.
I think you're vastly underestimating how long ago it was.
Not 10 years.
2011.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more than 10, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, really, it's not been that long. It's been one generation.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. It's been one generation. I mean, it's pretty uncommon for Nintendo to double dip on a game in the same generation. So it's due for one now. But they'd probably look at it as hey, we just gave you Pilotwings 64, which you haven't had.
I feel like the better idea would be to add it as a Wii Sports or Switch Sports thing.
Yeah.
Have the Pilotwings Island as a Switch Sports thing.
I mean, that's how it should be like Wii Sports Resort, where they had all that shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I don't know. But Wii Sports had Switch Sports had all sorts of drama this week too.
Oh, what did it do?
Oh, Nintendo fucked up a patch and then they had to take it offline. And they had to it was down for a couple of days and they reissued it. I mean, I haven't played it since it came out, but yeah, there was all that going on.
I've never played it.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, just random thought. I was gonna send a message to you guys about this the other day. Just Splatoon, because I still dabble in that. And I do wish they had. I'm ready for new Splatoon stuff. So, but it is exciting. We have the Splatfest coming up. But I was gonna say though, I was playing Salmon Run yesterday, and I had someone on my team who had a white suit. Oh my goodness, it was crazy.
An all white suit.
Yeah, one of the white suits.
Oh my god! Did he look like Michael Jackson by chance?
It felt like playing with God.
It's
literally, it just all of a sudden, just all the eggs are in the basket. How did they do that? I don't even know. I mean, I'm a blue suit, and I just can't even comprehend this. So, pretty magical. But yeah, I mean, those are really the big things I want to talk about this week. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Brandon, you want to talk about your things?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so essentially, what I have written here is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I played the demo because I was looking for something to use my eShop credit on or whatever. And you know what? I like this, but it's got some issues. Most of its issues can be summed up with it's on Switch. And also, I just don't care about the story aspect of it. I think that's where I was trying to get with you, Mike. And when I think of something like Triforce Heroes, whatever, Hyrule Warriors, that sort of thing. When I think of something like those games, I think of like the maps that you have where you can like go and get yourself items and you can grind out stages and this, that, and the other and whatnot. And that's kind of what I was looking for with Fire Emblem Warriors here. But I'm just getting another Fire Emblem game, essentially, that also has the Warriors slapped on top of it. And I don't really want that. I wanted something that
the grind out items thing.
Okay, so in Hyrule Warriors, for instance, you've got the maps. You know what I'm talking about? Like the challenge maps, that sort of thing. I was looking for something like that with Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I don't know if they have anything like that, where it's just like I just turn my head off and I just jump in and I play around, that sort of thing. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's when a Warriors game is at its best, when I don't have to do any thinking or I don't give a shit. And that's kind of the issue I'm having here. I'm having the two things kind of conflict because it's a Warriors game, so I just want to get in there and I want to beat the shit out of everything and I want to get my items and I want to get my S rank and I want to get this, that, and the other, and I don't want to give a flying fuck about the story. But this game really wants you to care about the story, and I just don't care. And it's kind of like those two things are clashing, and since I'm playing the demo currently, I don't know if it continues to do that throughout the entire thing. You said it changes up a lot. Does it change up where it becomes an actual Warriors game, or is this just Fire Emblem with a Warriors coat of paint?
Good question. I mean, I would say they meet somewhere in the middle. Like, it definitely has aspects of both. Like I said to you yesterday, like if you
is this just a story-based game? That's what I need to know. Is this just a story-based game? Or do I have elements where I can do, like, time trials? I can do, like, mission trials, where there's no elements of story whatsoever. It's just go in with your chosen heroes and do the thing to grind out their levels, to grind out their weapons, and do this, that, and the other. Is that a part of this game?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? How so?
Yeah, so I'll explain. So,
okay.
And just to kind of reiterate that I said to you yesterday, because you do see some of this by the end. Okay. But like, if you get to the end of the demo and you still don't like it,
I mean, this is like pretty long. I'm like 2 hours in, I would say.
It's a fucking long demo.
Yeah.
Like, no, if you get to the end of the demo and you don't see what you're looking for in this game, it's not there.
Okay.
Because it, like I said, it doesn't give you absolutely everything, but it gives you enough that you can basically see everything that's like what you're going to see, like kind of in terms of like what is there to offer. But so when you get into like a main chapter, you have like a goal to get to, and then it kind of gives you a map, and it's like, hey, there's these 6 different areas in this map. Okay. Those are like non-story like battles, basically.
So you mean like when you're already in the overworld after you're in the game itself, and it's like here are areas you have to go to? Are we talking about like?
So the way the game progresses,
okay,
is it has like the Fire Emblem like chapters thing.
So, oh yeah, I've noticed. It keeps telling me I'm in the prologue.
Yeah, so each let's say you get to chapter 1, all right? It'll kind of give you a little story bit, like, hey, this is what we got to do.
And I'm going to skip it. I'm just going to say that right now.
That's fine. I don't care. Then it will open up to a map, and the map will have like maybe like 6 or 7 points of interest on it. Mm-hmm. And those are just kind of like, and then you'll have like the last point on the map is like where you have to get to. So you have to get through some of those different points on the map to get to the next thing to progress the story. You don't have to do all of them. You can do all of them, but those points on the map are just, those are Warriors battles that don't have any story tied to them, or very little, like maybe like a blurb, like, oh no, raiders are attacking the town, stop them, kind of thing.
I see.
And you go in and you do them, and mixed in those chapters, you're going to find like additional like secret battles. You're going to find your time trial battles. You're going to find your challenge battles. Those are all mixed in there.
Okay.
And then once you clear the last the last stage of the map is like the final piece of like the story. That's like your bookend of the story thing, where you rejoin the story and then you go to the next chapter kind of thing. So that's where
Okay.
the yes and no comes from. Yes, there are plenty of those maps that you want to do, but no, it's not like it's a separate mode where you can just go in and do them at your leisure.
I see. So it's not a separate mode that I can
No,
just
it's just
go
kind of
into.
it's all integrated into the game.
I'm gonna have to look more into this because this sounds exactly like what I don't want in a Warriors game. This sounds exactly like the kind of Warriors game that isn't a Warriors game, and your friend that's like, "This is the best Warriors game," has no fucking clue what he's talking about.
He plays lots of Warriors games, Brandon. I agree with him, at least from the games that I have played, which I know doesn't mean much because I've only played like 5 of them. But I do think this is the best Warriors game mechanically and gameplay wise that I have played. He plays a lot of them.
Gameplay wise, this game is very good. I
Mhm.
I would like less slowdown, but it is what it is. Because it is the Switch, so I totally understand. And before you say, "Oh, there's no slowdown," no, your eyes just don't see it. There is massive slowdown in this game.
All I was gonna say is it's not as bad as Age of Calamity. That's
I
all
didn't
you
play
really
that
need.
one, so I don't know how bad that was. But if
Mm.
it was worse than this, then Jesus Christ, someone take the Switch out back and shoot it in its fucking head, because it is just at times when you're doing all your abilities and setting all the stuff off, and essentially what you would do in a Warriors game. At times, it is unbearably slow with how slow it gets. Um, and I'm not a big fan of that either. But again, that issue is that's a Switch issue. That's not a game issue because the gameplay itself, like the actual elements of just running through and ending everyone's life in this game and ending a lot of them at a very fast pace, are very interesting and is very well done. And I do like that element of it. But yeah, it's just performance wise is my issue, and then also if there's no option of just jumping into a thing to grind out my characters, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. It doesn't feel like a Warriors game to me because whenever I play Warriors, I play them not to fucking think in any way whatsoever, not to give a
Yeah.
shit. And
And it
like once
does
this started and it was like, all right, here's your cutscene that's like 5-10 minutes long, I was like, skip,
yeah, it does
skip,
talk a lot. I will say
skip,
that. Because it
skip.
is definitely a very story based Warriors game. It does have though, like aside from those challenge maps that I was talking about, where you can't. So I should actually just say too, like you can go back through and replay them if you want to. You do have that option, and you do. Yeah, there's like a whole mode in your base where you can just go through and pick maps you've already played and played them again. So you do have that option there too, and that you don't have to go to like a map. It's just kind of like there's just like a
Yeah.
vendor, and you're just like, I want to go here, and they're like, oh okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'll see how I feel about it by the end of the demo. But so far, much like the story, this is going to be a skip for me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's it. You're missing out. It's a great game.
I don't think I am. I actually don't think this is like it's not what I want in a Warriors game. It doesn't feel like a Warriors game. It feels like it's trying to do something different and it's trying to do it in a way that I don't like. But that's just how I feel.
Well, I disagree. But like I said, try at least if you get to the end of the demo and you don't
I'm
like
gonna
it, like
go to the end of it at
Mhm.
least.
then you'll
At
know
the
for
very
sure.
least. Yeah.
Like I said, at that point it opens up
I mean,
almost
there's
everything.
so much here in just a demo that I'm actually very impressed with how, what's the word I'm looking for? Generous they are with
Yeah.
allowing you to experience this game before actually purchasing it. And I'm very happy that they do so because this is like the kind of thing that is needed for a very long fucking game like this,
Yeah.
essentially.
It even
And
lets you get through the split story point if you have not done so yet.
I just split off, I believe. I believe that is what I just did.
Where you picked your house and then
Yeah.
you like So so once you get through like there should be I think it gives you the full first chapter and then I think that's where it stops. But the demo lets you like there was people before it came out that started a save file with each of the different houses before like so they had something like ready to progress as they went through.
Yeah, I just picked Petra, so I mean, there is no house. It's just I picked Petra and Bernadetta. No, and I just did that, and now, yep, the rest of the houses left and went away, and I was like, okay, So I'm guessing I just got to that split part. Some dude was like, "Hey, I'm some dude, and I'm actually not that old man. I'm this old man with a much larger forehead." And they're like, "Oh shit, that man's here. He's Badman. Badman needs die. We make Badman die." And he's like, "Haha, you cannot defeat me, for I am Badman. And now that I have revealed myself, bye." And I was just like, okay.
Basically, the same thing with that happened in the
original game.
Three Houses too.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how this diverges, because it definitely it starts out similarly and then it kind of goes in a wild direction. At least the one path that I played through.
The bad guy I was fighting at the beginning of this, that came out, was my character from Three Houses. It even had my name.
Yeah, because I asked you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. But it feels like this feels like a companion game more so than a spin-off game. And as such, I'm leaning on the side of I don't care, but I'm going to find out as I play more.
Did you like Three Houses? I don't even remember.
I did like Three Houses, but it's not what I'm looking for. It's the exact same reason that I don't want to play Mario and Rabbids right now.
What are you looking for then, Brandon? What do you want?
Something I can turn my brain off and not give a shit about. That's why I thought a fucking Warriors game would do it, but apparently not anymore.
Just play more Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards just continuing to play Overwatch 2, Splatoon, and I don't know.
Games.
Yeah, wait until there's something you really want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Just throw, buy something that you want.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways.
All right, moving on. I bought No More Heroes 3 on PC.
Are you actually going to finish it this time?
Absolutely, because it runs beautifully. I got no issue with it whatsoever. It's great. It's great. So I'm can confirm PC version is pretty great. And
they did, I guess, issue randomly along with this. They did issue an update to the Switch version along with the PC version when it released.
Mm-hmm.
So I've not looked to see exactly what was in it, so I don't know. But I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Updating it a year and a half later almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I can actually see what's going on now, and that's much more enjoyable for me. No More Heroes 3 was a blurry, muddy mess of a game that ran at a very low frame rate. But it was a great game. Being able to play that on PC now and actually have it run at a stable 60 or above in 4K is just so much better. And it's really enjoyable. I'm going through it for the fucking 6th time, so I don't even care because I still really like this game. Yeah.
If this is your 6th time, you're not really selling me on it. You're gonna finish it this time, Brandon. But we'll see. It's good. I want you to get to the ending. I can't say
why it's my 6th time.
I want you to get to the ending because the ending's fucking cool. But yeah, maybe by Game of the Year this year, I'll be able to.
I mean, technically, I could call it Game of the Year this year.
Yeah,
I probably will. No, I got some things in the wings for Game of the Year.
The wings.
Yeah. All right, I'm done. I got nothing else to talk about. Bye.
Nick, anything?
No, the only thing I really played this week was Splatoon. Just more Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did rank up.
Oh, what rank are you now?
B-.
Oh, nice.
Which those rank up battles are always so nerve wracking because I'll either get swept or it's a nail biter for every win that I get.
I feel like whenever I do the rank up battles, it always comes down to the last one.
Oh yeah.
It'd be 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 battle to go, and it'd be like, oh,
cowabunga it is.
Yeah.
Let's go. But that's all I've really been playing. I do plan on playing Sparks of Hope when that comes out this coming week. Actually, what,
2 days.
Thursday? Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be on my to talk about list next week when that comes out. So for now, I was just playing Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have something to talk about with you with that next week too. I plan on. I don't know. I'm. It's really weird because I'm not dying to play it right now, but I want to play it. I think is where I am. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I preloaded it. It's ready to go. My gold edition's just waiting to be used.
Yeah.
And the changes I saw in the reviews today, like it sounds like they made some nice changes to the overall flow of the game, which I think will make it a little bit better.
As long as it's not as linear as the first one. The first one was like, I don't want to say painfully linear, but like it was like, it was quite linear. Like,
It sounds like this one is not.
Cool.
Because what I was seeing is they got rid of like the kind of like area 1, 2, 1, 3 kind of like design. It's just kind of more like an open area that you kind of explore and like kind of find things as you progress through. So, I mean, it looks like it's pretty nice, and like just a lot of like the different abilities and stuff too aren't necessarily tied to the weapons.
Yeah,
I guess the different weapons are just skins now. Like they just have a core weapon, and like the abilities and stuff are tied to the, what are they called? Shines, sprites, whatever.
Yeah.
That just kind of like Lumas. I don't remember what they are. There's kind of like they're the ones that kind of drive the abilities in this game. So I don't know. I hope it's good. That's it. I bit the bullet on the season pass with the gold edition. So hopefully that's good. I was gonna say I feel like season passes are finally getting to be like an old thing. I realized.
I think Ubisoft is kind of the last of the companies really like pushing that.
Yeah, like you get occasional ones from like some companies, but
yeah,
it's not like it used to be where like everything had a fucking season pass.
Yeah.
Like I mean, because I was thinking about it, I was like, what else has it? And I was like, oh, Xenoblade 3, I guess, just had one, but
yeah.
And there's the Game of the Year edition for Far Cry that never got a Game of the Year award.
I love that article. So yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll have that to talk about next week, and after that, other things because there's a lot this month. So
I think the Arkham Knights has a season pass.
Is this your segue? Because you just added it to the list.
It wasn't, but I'm gonna check and make sure that it has a season pass. No, maybe I'm dumb. Maybe it doesn't have a season pass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know it's lacking about 30 frames.
It is indeed lacking about 30 frames, and that's the conversation that we're gonna have right now. Yeah. So onwards to the news. Batman Arkham Knights. No, it's not Batman Arkham Knights. Sorry, it's just Arkham Knights. That game has been confirmed to be locked at 30 FPS on all next-gen consoles. But wait, there's more. It's not releasing on last-gen consoles. It's only releasing on next-gen consoles. Which makes me think it's only releasing on last-gen consoles, but they're saying it's the next-gen version and charging $70 for it, while people will pay for 30 FPS and 4K, which won't even run at 30 FPS. Looks like shit. The game kind of looks like shit too. So there's that. I don't know. Has anyone looked into this game?
I'm not interested in it at all, honestly.
Have you seen anything though? I mean, you don't have to be interested.
I've seen, when they first revealed it, and I know originally they were promising like ridiculous frame rates, and then they were like, just kidding.
Well, not even that. This game looks like The Division, but in Batman.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like,
yeah.
I just haven't been paying close attention to it because it's not something that I've,
It's Gotham Knights,
planning on giving
Arkham
attention.
Knights, whatever. It's Gotham Knights. Sorry, my mistake. Gotham Knights. Shitty Knights. There we go. I forgot. Does Gotham Knights have a season pass?
There you go.
Let's see. It does not. Interesting.
Good.
But it has the Visionary Pack.
Oh.
It's basically a bunch of skins and shit. Game looks like poo-poo.
I mean, yeah. It does definitely look like poo-poo. Are they charging next-gen pricing for it?
$70.
That's hilarious.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's comical. I would say if it was $40, I'd be like, okay. But to not even have, like, you're going to charge next-gen pricing for non-next-gen features.
They claim that they can't get it running at 60 FPS. I claim that they're full of shit and lazy.
Hold on. Who are the devs?
WB Montreal.
What have they made? What else?
I don't know.
I'm looking. I'm like talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
They've made nothing. Oh, just kidding. They have made one game.
What's that?
Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh, the game they couldn't figure out how to fix, so they just canceled the DLC for it.
Yes.
Neat.
So,
All right, yeah, that checks out. Incompetent developer.
they also made the port of Arkham City for Wii U.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all I've done. But
You're just telling me someone's incompetent. That's all you're telling me.
the studio, definitely, because like they made the port for Arkham City in 2012. That was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
And then they made a browser-based PC game called Cartoon Universe. Don't know what it was.
Okay.
They also made Lego Legends of Chima,
Okay.
and then Batman Arkham Origins, and that was from 2013. And then they haven't apparently done anything since. And then Gotham Knights.
Yeah, this looks bad. It looks really bad, and it's only 30 FPS on PS5 and
That
Xbox
checks out
Series
though.
X.
That definitely checks out when you bring up who the studio is.
Yep.
So interesting.
There's a top comment, and it says when your trailer runs at 60 FPS, but your game won't.
Oh no.
Yeah, $70 game, next gen title, not next gen anything else.
Cool.
Seems like a bunch of bullshit to me.
Seems like duty, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Call of
speaking,
Duty.
yeah, Call of Duty also releases the 28th. Now let's move on from this. It's just Gotham Knights is stupid looking, and I like Batman.
Yeah, Batman's cool.
Do we move on to G4 shuts down?
Yeah.
G4 shut down again?
All that.
Yeah, I
G4
mean,
shut down again.
the writing was on the walls.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. Again, I'll just say, I'm pretty sure this is verbatim with what I said when they announced that they're bringing it back. But like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah.
Like,
So I was thinking about the whole thing yesterday, and like, not to make you guys feel old, right? So G4 for me, now I'm a 28-year-old man, was like Attack of the Show, X-Play, that kind of a shit. Whereas I feel like G4 for you guys had a lot more of the other older programs, if that makes sense.
I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but I mean, for me, it's exactly what you said was real.
No, it's. I think G4 is known for the shows you named. I mean, there's some other shows like Call for Help that were on it when it was called Tech TV.
Yeah.
And I saw it when it was Tech TV also. But even then, things like X-Play existed when Tech TV was G4.
My main thing is like, I think they kind of missed the whole point of G4 in relaunching G4. Is that, once upon a time, when the internet wasn't as crazy as it is now, you could only get your news from certain sources. So like, I remember like learning about all the game news from getting like GamePro or like Game Informer or stuff like that, right? Or like watching, E3 on G4 and all that kind of shit, right? And it served a purpose at a time, but we are large and by past that time of having that. So I think instead of digging up G4's dead body and trying to prop it up as something that was new and fresh, they should have just kind of kept the legacy of it as it was, and then that's it. Like, there is no, in my head, there is no need that G4 could have fulfilled, because most of it was like, the presenters that they had were people established, streamers or YouTubers and whatnot. They had Adam Susser on there, which was great because I do really like his opinion on games, but like, I could just watch his, if he had like a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like, it's just G4 in and of itself nowadays does not have any sort of sense of purpose. Also, strangely enough,
I feel like they were missing a lot of things that made them G4 though. Also,
that's
like,
true.
When you do like a TV show, but you specifically or a YouTube channel or whatever, but you specifically like build it around, I don't know, Attack of the Show, G4, that sort of thing. It was the channel was based around technology in general.
Yes.
And it was always running. So you would tune in and you would always see something new and interesting about
Yes.
upcoming tech or current tech or even future tech. But you can't really do that with a YouTube channel.
No.
What you could do essentially is kind of have like those interesting programs, have like a 30-minute YouTube video or whatever, and do what all these other niche YouTubers do that have like those one-hit wonders, and it's like, wow, that's actually really interesting. I didn't know about such and such thing. That's super cool. That's what they needed to do for G4 to make a comeback. They needed those random little instances on their YouTube channel of
Yeah.
just, what is this thing? This is really weird and interesting. They needed that. They didn't do that. It didn't go anywhere. It wasn't very good. I like Austin Creed. I like Adam Sessler. I like The Completionist. I like Scott the Woz. I like all four of those things. They weren't front and center on the YouTube channel, which was how they
Yeah.
were trying to market this. Now, granted, they had a TV station as well,
They
but
did.
no one has TV, and they only had it through a specific provider, like a very specific.
Well, the problem
provider.
is that it was mostly through Stadia, and then once that shut down, what are you gonna do?
Wait, was it? I thought it was
No,
through.
no, it was
Oh, okay.
Comcast.
I was like, I thought it was Comcast.
Yeah,
I was like, did they
yeah.
also do something with Stadia? I had no idea.
No, so that's my thing. As I think that G4 was a answer to a solution that or to a problem that didn't exist. Basically,
yeah, exactly.
You people nowadays have the content creator, have the person that they like to watch, and that's just who they go to.
And have random ones that you can find at any moment in time for your niche things. So the niche things that G4 would do, that just doesn't matter because someone else is already doing them.
The other thing is too is I feel like the gap was too big. Again, I think they kind of missed the part. I think I mentioned this when they first announced that they were coming back. Is that I feel like they kind of missed the mark of if they wanted to relaunch it, like they kind of missed their window of opportunity because there's a lot of people now, gamers and whatnot on the internet who probably don't even realize what G4 was. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to give a shit.
They probably just think it was reruns of Cops.
Yeah, exactly.
and Cheaters.
They're like G4 that channel that just showed Cops all the time.
Yeah, Cops, Star Trek, and Cheaters.
So that's my thing is They missed the mark completely. I think they had no idea what they were doing.
There's no reason for it.
There was no reason for it, and it was kind of like a big waste of time and money. But
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
I like a lot of the people that were attached to it.
Yeah,
and
there are some cool people attached to it.
I've seen some really it's awful, but at the same time, it just makes you laugh at how awful their it's bad for the person, but it also makes you laugh at how awful their management was. Because Gerard, the completionist, who is a really nice guy and does a lot of good content and everything, definitely go check him out. He put up a tweet that was like, guys, I didn't know I was fired until you guys knew I was fired. What the fuck is this? I came in and there was nothing to come into today. What is this? I found out that I didn't have a job anymore by a Twitter post.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's stupid.
Yeah. So I mean, it sucks, but also I don't think anybody honestly thought that it was going to succeed. And from what I gather from people who were attached to it, that feeling was also mirrored on the inside because Adam Sessler was tweeting about it and saying that he, it was a lot of incompetence on the inside. That's, I feel like he should have been one of the main people they should have looked to for things.
But there's also this issue, right, where a lot of G4 and a lot of tech TV is nostalgia based.
Yes.
When you see the people that you grew up with have grown up and they've grown up to be a much different person than the person you liked watching when you first were watching them, then that nostalgia kind of goes away. And in some cases that happened with Adam Sessler. Adam Sessler would often just get on soapboxes during the rebranding, the rebirth of G4, and he would do things that were very not Adam Sessler.
Uh-huh.
So it was just kind of, it almost had a feeling of old man yells at cloud sort of deal.
It's definitely.
And as such, it just kind of, the person we thought we wanted to watch we no longer want to watch.
Yes.
Essentially. And yeah. Like, I think his review of Psychonauts 2 was excellent. He did a great job. But I think if he's not in the capacity of just doing reviews, he was pretty, like, very unlikable while on the camera.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like, too, not to get too deep into this topic, because it could, it could go one way or another. But I also feel like, a lot of who they had on there and a lot of the things that they were trying to do were more so light pandering and statement pieces to kind of be like, look at us doing this.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but if you watched I saw random clips and whatnot throughout the year or so, the less than a year of them being back, where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's my other thing, too, is like,
well, not only that, but not only that, it was legitimate pandering, because they would say these statement pieces about certain things and whatnot, and then they would literally have someone in a hot tub the next day bathing in like fucking hot dogs and shit like that. Correct. And it's just like, yeah, you're very disingenuous with one side, and then the side that wants to watch you doesn't want to watch you because you're being disingenuous with that side and making it feel like you're on their side. And they don't want to watch you either, because then they tune in and they see this shit. So you've got no one on your side.
I think that's what I'm, like that's mostly kind of my point with that was like they made statements about certain things and would bring up certain things, and then like you said, like, the next day they were like, "Hey, let's have a girl in a bikini and a hot dog bathtub."
Yeah, hot dog eating contest. See how many she can fit in her mouth. That was like literally a thing that they did, and it was like,
so it's just a really weird dichotomy of like, what is your
what's your demographic you're going after? Like, who is your audience?
Exactly. So
because you feel like old G4, but it's very cringy now the way you like are doing it. It's very like not cringy in the normal way. I'm a hip kid, cringe, everything's cringe, but legitimately, like you look at that and you're like, you don't really like that sort of thing anymore. It's not really, interesting. And then they stand on a soapbox and they're like, this stuff is not right. It should not be done. And then the next day they literally fucking do it. And it's like, what? They were going too far one way or the other. They were never in the middle on anything. They were just, they didn't care about any of the stuff they were saying they cared about.
Yes.
And then when they showed how much they didn't care so much so that the people that were even like, I don't care, were like, whoa, hey, hold on a second, guys.
Yeah.
This is fucking awful.
Correct. So I think, it was just kind of like, it was all the way around just weird.
Mm-hmm.
But, so they're gone. Sorry. Yeah, I guess you'll have to find somewhere else to get your game news. I don't know where you're going to do that.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. You probably just go anywhere or find your favorite YouTuber. We talk about game news.
That's true.
Yeah.
But, that's
we're literally doing it right now.
We are literally, doing it right now. Yeah.
All the news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's the Silent Hill thing?
Yeah.
There's a Silent Hill transmission happening tomorrow. 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. our time. I don't know what it is. I just know
no one does. They just say it's an announcement about the future of the series.
I know people have been kind of thinking for a while that they looked at Capcom and saw the success that they've had with the remakes of Resident Evil. So some people are thinking it might be along those lines, or it could be a pachinko machine.
Elijah Wood tweeted this out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but he tweeted it out with shifty eye emoji, and that was it.
It also could be like a movie.
Watch, it's just Elijah Wood really likes Silent Hill. Yeah. That's all. There's probably nothing to it.
Elijah, no, it's that. What's that? Oh, what was that weird Elijah Wood show? Hold on. With dog.
Lord of the Rings.
No, Wilfred. It's a reboot of Elijah Wood's critically acclaimed show, Wilfred.
Huh?
Have you never seen that?
I think
Game
so.
of the Year edition.
It's Elijah Wood and then like some other guy, I don't know who he is, in like a dog costume, and he's like playing a dog.
I see.
I've never seen it. I know what show you're talking about. I've never seen it. Yeah, it could be. Who knows? Yeah. I did see, speaking of Silent Hill, I did see someone got PT running on PlayStation 5.
I did see that.
So yeah, that's exciting. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's probably just PT running on
Yeah.
PlayStation 5.
So we'll see. I don't know. Don't get your hopes up. It is Konami, and they don't really do anything of value nowadays.
No.
No, they really
I
don't.
wouldn't even get excited for a remake of the like if all the stars aligned, right, and it was a remake of the first game. I also wouldn't get your hopes up that it would be a good quality remake.
Can I point you in the direction of the remake of 2 and 3 that was on PlayStation 3 and how bad it was?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One of
So
the worst remakes ever.
Although the reimagining of Silent Hill 1 that they made for the Wii was pretty good.
Shattered Memories?
Yeah.
That was made. That was just published by Konami. It was made by a different developer, and it wasn't in house.
I don't know. I'm just saying they at least had to have signed off on it.
Yeah, but that was probably just a mistake. They were like, "Oh shit, we accidentally made something good."
Damn it! We didn't cancel it in time.
yeah.
Yeah, that was made by Climax Studios. What?
I don't know.
Oh, they accidentally made a good game too, because they make like trash.
Great. So I guess we got the smallest piece of news for this week, right?
Yeah, let's go over the smallest piece of news.
Yeah.
So is this just to derail this straight from the get go?
Okay.
This news that you were talking about, this breaking, are you talking about the Jason Schreier thing?
Yeah.
That was today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So I mean, we'll get to that obviously as we go through this, but
you know how little I trust Jason Schreier.
True, but I do believe there is some truth in it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Because there's so that's the thing.
Incognito mode to read what he wrote up.
Well, not yet. We'll get there. But I just want to say,
yes, I'm blocked by Jason Schreier.
I know it's okay. It's
a
weird
lot
flex.
Of people.
I wish I was too, but it's a weird flex.
But I just say there's just you saw the initial. So this all started out with the original voice actor Helena.
We're talking about Bayonetta 3, by the way.
Yeah.
Helena, was it Taylor? Is that her last name?
The original voice actress?
Helena Taylor.
Helena Taylor.
Yeah. Because she put out a video basically saying like, "Hey, I auditioned. They made me audition for the role again. I aced the audition, but then they only offered me $4,000, and that was their highest offer after this renegotiation."
After she spoke with the director of the game.
Real quick, I don't know how unusual or like regular that is to have a voice actress or voice actor re-audition for a role they've had for the better part of like a decade.
Yeah, so that's happened plenty of times.
Is that like a regular thing? Because like she's been anytime Bayonetta has appeared, she's been the voice actress. So it's like, to me, for like that's my first kind of like red flag is like, why would they make her audition again?
So as much as I would like to agree with you there, we have to remember David Hayter.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid 5.
I was just saying,
could it just been a case? Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, my initial thought on this when they originally said that was kind of like what you were just talking about, Brandon, was that, like David Hayter, like maybe they just decided they wanted to go to a different direction, but thought they shouldn't just. Basically, they just wanted to nicely push the actress out without.
Very Japanese thing to do, because they don't like confrontation. So what they'll do is they'll do something that's so insultingly bad that you want to leave, and essentially offering someone that's been there for all of the games through all of the times and is the character. I say is the character because of the fact that that's like the only role this person plays aside from doing I think Broadway shows or something, or doing some kind of acting.
It's just theater. She's in Britain.
Theater shows. Sorry. Okay. Theater shows. Aside from doing theater shows, the only thing she's ever played is Bayonetta. And she's done it in the anime, she's done it in the games. And the best way to get rid of someone is to offer them something so insulting that they won't take it, and then you don't have to fire them. And that's where I'm coming from. I think that they went the Japanese route of offering someone something so insulting that they wouldn't take it, and then they wouldn't have to fire them and have the company look bad for firing an employee. That's my thoughts on the whole situation right now. Now, did they want to fire her because she was hard to work with, or did they want to fire her because, and this is the one I'm leaning towards so far, they wanted to fire her because they already had Jennifer Hale waiting in the wings. They had already decided they weren't going to rehire her Helena Taylor. They had already decided they weren't going to rehire her, but they had to find a way to get rid of her. They had already decided on Jennifer Hale because Jennifer Hale is a big-time voice actress. She's FemShep, for instance. She's huge. She's in like 2,000, 4,000 plus games. She's a very recognizable talent. So when you have a very recognizable talent, you'll move product. And the easiest way to do that would be getting rid of the original voice.
I will say right there for me, right, when you replace Taylor with Hale, to me that completely discredits the money dispute issue. Because I don't think it's a money thing anymore. Because Jennifer Hale, by all means, would cost more.
Way more than $4K.
Than Taylor, right? Mm-hmm. As long as we're all okay. Because she, I know, like some of her more notable roles as of late, like she voices Ashe in Overwatch.
Yep.
Who else we got here? Sorry, Chronica in Mortal Kombat 11. If you've played that, yeah, like you said, FemShep, things of that nature. So it's like she definitely. Oh wait, she voices Samus. Hell yeah!
We talked about this. All she does is she does Samus' scream.
Yeah,
like, I guess. And they had her do some voice acting for Prime 1.
She does
where
Kimmy
she actually
Howell
read lines, but
just
they
does
never,
Prime. Yeah. So the original story is that Taylor claimed that they only offered her $4,000 for the entire game for voice acting.
Yes.
Which, at that time, I'm like, I don't know. Is that a lot? I don't remember Bayonetta 1 being very dialogue heavy. How much does she talk? How many sessions is it? You know, that kind of a thing.
And so I can actually answer that question to some degree. So apparently, well, to some degree, because she was just unclear. But she said that she spent 16 hours, either 16 hours on Bayonetta 2 alone, which would be 4 recording sessions, or between 1 and 2, which would be 2 each.
Okay.
I could see either of them, because Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 do not have a lot of voice acting. Like, I mean, she does say things, but it's not like a lot of games.
I put up Bayonetta 2 yesterday, and I actually think we've got a few, like, 5-10 minute cutscenes here and there of.
But she's not saying a lot. I've been playing through it too, Brandon. I just didn't talk about it. But like, she doesn't say a lot. Like, there's a lot of fucking cutscenes in that game. Like the beginning intro to that game. You're right. That's probably a 10-minute fucking cutscene.
It's a 10-minute.
But she has like maybe like 4 lines. Like, she really doesn't say.
The other thing is too is I like in this conversation that's been blooming since it came out. There's been a lot of people who are like, oh, well, Troy Baker gets paid. You can't compare Troy Baker to this situation. And for me, that's mostly because what Troy Baker does in games such as The Last of Us is like pretty much just real acting because he does all the mocap and the voicing, and it's a very dialogue-heavy game.
Yes. Well, and the other thing is, too, and, you know, not to discredit anything that Helena has done on this.
Yes.
But the other big difference between the two is, like, she only has 2 voice acting credits, like Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. Yeah. Troy Baker has hundreds. Jennifer Hale has hundreds. She's not really in a position to negotiate like they are.
Yes.
Just because of the difference in experience.
So, going off of all of that, so today an article was, or tweets were tweeted out by Bloomberg and Brandon's favorite video game reporter, Jason Schreier.
Let's go!
So the new report
You know why he blocked me?
Probably because you yelled at him for something.
No, I wrote to him, and I said something along the lines of, you want people to, like, you know, to believe you and you want to be credited, but yet you hid rape allegations for several years when you yourself knew about it during the Activision Blizzard thing. Because it did come forward that he knew about it, and he just hid it for several years. And then I said that he was a hypocrite, and that's how I ended my comment. Because he is. He's a fucking hypocrite. He's a piece of shit, and he'll lie just for his friends. It's a very well-known thing. There's a reason why a lot of people don't like him, and I don't like him because I don't trust him.
I don't like him either.
This is fair.
So now none of these claims are founded, I will say. These are just this kind of like heard it through the grapevine kind of stuff. So they said that new evidence has emerged that Helena Taylor was offered at least $15,000 to reprise her role in Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Contrary to the $4,000 offer that she said.
He said specifically, "I have seen written evidence."
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Is it just a piece of paper with the words on it? Like, I don't know.
It's just a piece of paper that says written evidence.
It's like, have you ever watched Parks and Rec and like Ron Swanson? They're like, you need a permit, and it just, I can do whatever I want, Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
So, and then it goes on to say that documentation, as well as two people familiar with negotiations, say that Platinum attempted to hire Taylor for 5 sessions lasting 4 hours apiece, and she would be paid between $3,000 to $4,000 for each session. And that would have been a significant...
Realistic. That sounds realistic, but I also don't believe this.
And that would be a significant increase from the second game. Mm-hmm. And then going forward, too, from the report, they're saying that Taylor rejected those terms and then asked for a 6-figure sum as well as residuals.
Residuals, yeah.
Which I honestly, that's kind of what I believe that happened.
I don't think so.
The reason I think about it is because she opened up that video talking about, like, Bayonetta is a franchise that has amassed $450 million.
Yeah.
That's not even including licensing.
Yes.
I honestly, I think that's a stretch. But...
No, that's actually true.
You think so?
But no, it is true. And the main reason is because it was originally multi-plat. We're counting the first game as well. And the re-releases of the first game, such as on Steam and the Switch.
Yes.
So no, I believe that one. That one I think is true.
I only looked up Bayonetta 2's numbers. I didn't look up Bayonetta 1's. Mm-hmm. I know that in either cases, it's not really like crazy. Like the Switch version has sold 1 million, which presumably is higher than the Wii U version. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's breaking the bank.
So
but
at this point, with how she framed the video, right? Mm-hmm. I agree with what you're saying, Mike. Is that I don't know if she asked for a 6-figure salary, but I definitely believe that she asked for residuals.
Yeah, I think residuals.
I think that was definitely asked for. And then they said no, and now they're hiring obviously Jennifer Hale, and they're probably paying her probably the same amount that they offered Taylor, maybe even less. Honestly, who knows?
Absolutely not. No, wrong. Absolutely. What? There's no way in hell that Jennifer Hale is much more expensive. Just in general, specifically because of the union she's with.
That union is for reoccurring roles.
The union also is very strict on a person that is already established within that union and their pay rate that they've had across other projects. The union is very strict about this. I looked into this. In this case, Jennifer Hale is in no way, shape, or form even being paid remotely what the highest amount Platinum said they would have been paying Taylor. They are paying her much more. This is absolutely a case of they wanted Taylor gone, either because she was hard to work with, she was asking for residuals, or just because they had already planned on getting rid of her and getting Hale in the first place, so they'd have a more recognizable voice attached to it, thus trying to sell more product.
My thing is I do feel, right? I do feel like Taylor is the main reason why deals fell through. I do believe that she was possibly asking for too much.
Scheduling conflicts that Platinum lied about?
The other part of what I was going to say was Hideki Kamiya is a huge piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's a massive
So I also will not defend that man as well. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem, is that on one hand, I'm like, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Fucking asshole.
Yes.
But at the same time... Yes, correct. But then again, like I said, at the same time... How do we know? Because we don't, because you gotta understand, too, you're getting this information from the person who made the initial video. Mm-hmm. How do we know that she's being 100% truthful? That's all. Just to play devil's advocate with that.
But we do have to look at two things, right? We have a massive corporation that is likely to lose a bunch of sales on the game, and we have a person who has lost the only role they have ever held in regard, period, ever, who is breaking a massive NDA by disclosing information. Now, when you stack those two up side by side, one of these things doesn't make sense. And it's the reason why someone who's only ever held one role in the entire voice acting business would go and put the chance of them having another role ever again on the line by breaking an NDA. That doesn't make any sense if they're the one lying.
I
disagree. I disagree because if she was that sought after, she'd have more roles than just Bayonetta.
But maybe she hasn't been going for more roles or attempting
or maybe she hasn't been recruited.
That's also possible. I don't see any reason, all right, at this point for a person to burn their entire career.
People do it for crazy reasons.
Every reason for a company to try to save face.
Yes. And that's why I'm saying, like,
that's where
Hideki Kamiya is a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I could also see him doing things, like you said, pushing her out and whatnot, you know, all that shit. And then maybe just paying Hale more because they're like, well, we got to get this game voiced, and we have all the voice actors now.
I made a joke last night while I was playing a game with my friends because we were all talking about this as well, and I said there's no way Jennifer Hale accepted $4,000 because it was still at the time where the $4,000 was the base price supposedly of what she was offered. And then I said, and I quote, Jennifer Hale probably accepted $4,000 just to make that tweet.
Maybe.
And I was like, do I agree with the way she treated Hale in her video? Absolutely not. That was uncalled for. That was really shitty, and that really does show a lot on her part. Whether it's pride or whether it's something more vindictive, we don't fully know.
The thing is, too, like you have to. I would think at least Hale wouldn't know anything that was going on with the other side of things. It would just.
Then why did she say she did? But she's under NDA and can't speak about it.
I don't think she said she did. I thought she just said she just couldn't speak about it. I mean, I'll double check the tweet.
I am under NDA and not at liberty to speak regarding this situation.
Exactly. Like, so that doesn't mean she knows anything. That just means she can't speak of anything. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, too, Brandon, I know you said this kind of changed your opinion of Hale because of the tweet, but I disagree. I mean, people were attacking Hale on Twitter just for having the role. Like, she had to respond to something, but she can't really say anything.
The reason why I said I had less respect for her for this tweet is not because of that. It's because of the last part. I sincerely ask that everyone keep in mind that this game has been created by an entire team of hardworking, dedicated people. And I hope everyone will keep an open mind about what they've created. That is very disingenuous. The reason why that is very disingenuous is because any developer, any like writer, anybody that has created the game, which is clearly what she's talking about, has already been paid. They have already been paid.
She's not talking about them getting paid.
This reeks of I have to put out this message to.
I think more so what her statement to me anyway. My interpretation is. She's like saying that there's a lot of people who worked hard on this game, and they want the game. She wants the game to be enjoyed, and for you not to not enjoy the game because of the situation.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think nowhere in that sense does it chime to me that she's saying if you guys don't buy this game, nobody gets paid because that's bullshit.
It is bullshit. That's the reason.
But that's also not what she's saying.
Okay, all right, fine. I don't feel the same way, mostly because of that last line, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I took it to be more of like kind of like this is a passion project kind of thing.
Sounded
like, we
more to me like you're essentially saying your boycott's hurting the rest of the team. That's what it sounded like to me, and that would be very disingenuous if that was.
I will say though,
I feel like it kind of does because if you spent, I don't know how many years Bayonetta 3 was in development for. But to me, like if I
the Switch, so
so my thing is, if I spent the better part of 5-6 years creating a game, and then people are like, well, I'm not gonna play this and enjoy this. Personally would feel like my work was for nothing, not the monetary loss, more so the work was for nothing.
Okay.
And if we look at this with the most like devil's advocate magnifying glass possible, like let's just say like theoretically, Helena is just vindictive bitch because they wouldn't give her $200,000 in residuals for this role, and she's just furious that she's been replaced, and she just wants to see them suffer, and she tells people to boycott the game. Like, I mean, that's just a horrible way to treat. I mean, she has I would think a good fan base that has a lot of respect for the work that she's done.
Oh, I got a bit more info that just came out. Literally just dropped. Reports say Taylor asked for a 6-figure sum as well as residuals on the game, which Platinum then abruptly dismissed and then started holding auditions for a replacement. Bloomberg sources now claim that Taylor was afterwards offered a cameo in the game at the same single session rate of $3,000 to $4,000. And the $3,000 to $4,000 rate that they're talking about there is the offer that was offered to her as a cameo rate. So the $4,000 would have been $4,000 for her to just have a cameo in the game in the first place. Not even to do the voice work, but just to do a voice work for a cameo character, probably one of the different Bayonettas. And that Hale was going to replace her either way because she wouldn't accept their original offer of $15,000. So it's now saying other things as well. That's all I wanted to.
So so with that, I would say like if you're a company, right, and you're in these talks, and you at that point where she's asking for $1 gorillion, and you're like, guys, we aren't paying her $1 gorillion, and we really got to release this game, then I would say it's probably normal for them to start looking elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to think about it. If they're looking for $4,000 a session, and Jason Schreier said that it would probably add up to at least 15,000 with all the recording sessions, and she's looking for 6 digits, you're not going to meet on the middle. Like there is the middle there is still 3 times more than what you are offering. Like you're not going to find a reasonable ground between the two.
Yeah, but I do feel like we don't know.
Yeah.
Everything, and I do feel like Taylor is probably in the wrong, but also at the same time, I know Hideki's a piece of shit, and I can specifically name him because he is like one of the highest high-ups in Platinum games.
He's the vice president.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with either of those statements. So
I think Taylor's in the wrong for the way she treated the new voice actress.
I
think Platinum is lying. I really think Platinum is lying. I would not put it past them because of all the lies they've been caught in lately. That's the only reason I'm going with my gut on that. They've been caught in so many lies, from the scheduling conflicts to the saying
I was going to say, I forgot to correct you on that. Apparently, Platinum never said scheduling conflicts.
Show me where they never said that, because I'm positive they said scheduling conflicts.
They, from what I saw, they said there was, what was it? They said there was circumstances that prevented them from doing it. It wasn't scheduling conflicts. I don't think I can find the thing to pull it back though. But I just saw that like the other day.
No, I don't think that's true at all. Hold on. Especially since, if only I could get past all the boycott stuff now that's being thrown around. I literally saw the news story where they had,
I mean, the scheduling conflicts could be the voice acting sessions.
Oh, here it is. This is the quote from, I found it, from Yasuki Miyata. It says, various overlapping circumstances made it difficult for Helena Taylor to reprise her role. I can send you the link if you want.
No, I see it. It was a write-up on Game Informer at the beginning of October.
Yes.
Yeah. So
interesting.
So they didn't call it scheduling conflicts. Like I said, this is.
So where did the scheduling conflicts
Might have been like
story
an
come
incorrect.
from? It must have
Didn't
been an
Helena-
incorrect.
Didn't Helena Taylor say that in her video? Scheduling conflicts? I think that's where it came from.
Maybe. Possible.
You might be right. Or it might have been a different like news site that misreported it or something.
Yeah.
This is interesting because now when you look at this, right, and I'm noticing this a lot now, a lot of the past information, because you know how excited I have been for Bayonetta 3. I literally bought a Switch for the fucking game.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the past information on Bayonetta 3 has now just been demolished by all of this current stuff that's going on. And as such, it's now so much harder to find any of the old information. I literally had to pull up a fucking Game Informer to find the information about the various overlapping circumstances, which that was reported on October 5th. So that's way before the whole drop of the information from Taylor. So that's, I mean, and this, I mean, I don't think it could have been edited, but whatever. Even so, yeah, there's a lot of people like weighing in, being like it was probably COVID lockdowns that were most likely to blame for this, and so this was way before any of the stuff came forward about what's currently going on. And as such, I mean, when you look at that and you look at all this information, there's a lot of just conflicting things. I think I am leaning towards that they're both lying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think there's any
in the
truth.
middle.
There's no truth in any, or not full truth rather, in any of the statements that have come out. But I also do feel like, you know, it's weird for Taylor to hop on Twitter and make a video and kind of rile people up, because like that's kind of what Twitter's for nowadays, I feel like. And then at the same time, like, obviously we can see Platinum doing scummy shit, but at the same time it doesn't make sense, because if you didn't want to pay Taylor if what Taylor was saying, their original offer was $4,000 for the whole game, it doesn't math correctly to me that they would then hire a more high profile voice actress,
way more expensive,
and who would be way more expensive. So like that to me like doesn't check out. So it's like, it's weird, because like obviously you would want to think that it's the corporation, the companies that are being assholes, which they could be, but at the same time, like, are they? Because they definitely spent money for Jennifer Hale.
Yeah.
So it's not like they saved money by getting Jennifer Hale. Like,
yeah, no, they didn't. And I just went through her Twitter video again, and she is the one that says it was a scheduling conflict.
I see.
So, you know, and then again, obviously, like, pointing out that it's been a $450 million franchise. Like,
this comment's really good. If Taylor's telling the truth, then Kamiya is a piece of shit. If Taylor is lying, then Kamiya is a piece of shit who doesn't know how to do correct PR.
Yes, which is also true.
Yeah, no, he is. Listen, they need to take that man's Twitter away. I cannot believe that
he has 250,000 tweets.
A lot.
Well, you know what? Just give it to some intern at Platinum to take care of it. Like, this man doesn't need a Twitter. He's
so many
just
of his
creating
tweets are
problems
just
for
calling
them.
people in different languages fucking brainless insects. The man is so xenophobic, it isn't even funny.
Well, remember too, that was a Kickstarter bonus for Wonderful
to be unblocked
101.
by him. Yeah.
No, I thought it was to get banned by him.
No, it's to be unblocked by him, because his block list is over 10 to 20,000 people.
No, I'm pretty sure they had one that was to get banned by him.
No, unblocked. His
Let's
block.
see.
I've seen so many people talk about it and bring it up.
Yeah, get blocked on Twitter by Kamiya.
All you gotta do is say hi.
All you gotta do is retweet him in English. It also makes me sad because, like, he obviously he makes one of my favorite GameCube games, but he's also a shithead. So, like,
yeah. Yes, he is. Listen, he needs to just be like behind the curtain. Just don't let him talk anymore.
No. Mission 12. Mission 12. Complete Kamiya unblocks everyone. If you complete Mission 12 of the Kickstarter, I'm literally translating it right now. He will unblock everyone that is on his list.
Yeah, but look at the backer bonuses. One of them's literally get blocked by Camilla.
What the fuck? What? Why? Oh, because of the fact that all he does is block everyone. All of them are get blocked by Camilla. That's the joke. I think when someone spoke to him last, he was at 20,000 blocked accounts.
Ridiculous.
So what's your favorite GameCube game by him?
Oh, Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe? Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that had to be what you were thinking.
Beautiful Joe is great.
Yeah, that is a great game.
Man.
Okay, yeah, all of them are get blocked by him, and then the final reward is get unblocked by him. But no, I was there was someone that said I tweeted him a picture and wrote congratulations, and he blocked me. And the picture was the Wonderful 101 thing being completed and going through, and someone tweeted their copy when they got it in, and yeah, all he did was that, and they got blocked by him.
So nice of him.
Yeah. In other news, the Callisto Protocol during this podcast put out a tweet. It says, we would like to inform you all that we'll be shipping globally on December 2nd. Also, our game will run at 60 FPS in performance mode.
Oh, cool. Good for them.
Actually, it's word of warning, too, I guess. God of War Ragnarok is out in the wild now.
Oh.
So, keep your eyes peeled for spoilers, I guess.
Keep your bananas peeled.
Yeah. Some people eat fruit with the skins on that should not. Did you? Like, I met people who eat kiwis with, like, the skins.
What?
Yeah. That's just gross.
Why?
I don't know. They're just gross. I don't know what to tell you. That's just... I would not want to eat a hairy fruit.
You know what's funny? I was talking to one of my friends at work today, and we were talking about Hershey's Kisses for some reason. And, like, she was making, like, hand motions of her opening a Hershey's Kiss, but it was the hand motion of opening a banana. And I was like, do you open your Hershey's Kisses like bananas? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, why are you a mass murderer?
I guess there's also people who eat, like, the cupcake paper, too.
Well, we were talking about, like, something like that, too, because I said one of my favorite parts of eating a Reese's cup is tearing off the panties before I eat it. And then I also eat them like a clam.
What does that need to mean?
Like, you know how, like, you go to eat a clam and you put, like, the bottom of the shell in your mouth and you kind of, like, you know what I mean?
Nope, I don't put any part of the clamshell in my mouth. Never, ever.
Well,
I usually just take a fork and eat the clam out, and that's it.
I've seen people do that. I don't eat clams. Clams are gross.
I guess I'll give you this one other bit of information that came out.
Yeah.
This is the last thing I'll leave it at for Bayonetta 3, and it actually makes me feel very much so like, yeah, this might be just vindictive on the voice actor's part. In an email, Taylor described his accounts as an absolute lie and said that Platinum was quote-unquote trying to save their ass and their game. She then said she stood by everything she said in the video, and I'd like to put this whole bloody franchise behind me, quite frankly, and get on with my life in theater. Representatives from Platinum Games and Nintendo didn't respond to requests for comment. Hideki Kamiya, the executive director of Bayonetta 3, called Taylor's current allegations sad and deplorable in a Twitter post.
I thought they were going to say, and Hideki
blocked me on Twitter?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a sad situation, really. I guess on the flip side, though, since this news is broken, Bayonetta 3 has risen up into, like, the top 30 on Amazon. So maybe it's good advertising. Like, it's having, like, the reverse effect of what you wanted it to do.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I'm still excited for this game, and I still haven't pre-ordered.
I have canceled mine, but I just had the money sitting on my Switch, so yeah. There's another comment that says, for those that are blocked by Jason Schreier, I know there's a lot of you. Here's more context.
Well, that was nice of him. I didn't know he was a block happy person, too.
Yeah.
Another comment says, yeah, it's kind of sad that he blocks anyone who doesn't agree with him wholeheartedly. I remember I got blocked because I said this comment is dumb at some point in a lengthy post that he made. And yeah, I've never been unblocked since then. And then the next reply is, the trick is to block him before he blocks you.
That's true.
And then you just click when he's got a story you want to see more on.
And the next comment is, "Holy shit, you're a genius."
There we go. Twitter 101. So yeah, that's a lot of news that we got through.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm good.
Brandon?
I'm good.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, our website, game-crunch.com, has all of our episodes. If you want to reach out to us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, or you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon?
Hello.
Any final thoughts?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm good.
Nick?
Nope.
All right. Well, that's it. My name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online on Clash of Penguin on Twitter or your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Games. There was some new information that came out today about the Bayonetta 3 stuff.
Yeah, and I don't believe it for a fucking second. I'll talk about that, though. We'll talk about that.
I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah.
But also, like, not excited to talk about that.
That's the reason I'm excited to be here.
I am not 100% on the OG voice actress's side, so...
Neither am I.
Yeah.
Actually.
I have a lot of thoughts on both sides of the thing, essentially.
Yeah. I think we should save all this conversation for...
Yeah.
I know we're just going to start creeping down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we would.
Are you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.